Welcome to Football Uncensored. I'm Don Shanks, along with Alan Hudson. We're here in Gran Canaria, in the Caribe Apartments in Puerto Rico. It's our venue for this afternoon. Our normal host, obviously, is the Grosvenor Gloucester Road Casino. Unfortunately, locked down back home, Alan. They're sort of closed at the moment, but any of you guys out there wanted to have a little wager, you can go to grosvenorcasino.com online, and I'm sure you'll get what you're looking for there. Right, Alan, let's talk about the Premier League today. We've obviously got Brighton and Liverpool playing as we talk. We know it's 0-0 half time. Brighton have missed a penalty. If Liverpool come out of the game with something, they go top of the league just for 1 point. You think they're back in business?
Liverpool, I just feel at the moment that I've got a strong feeling. At the beginning of the season, you fancied Chelsea. I fancied Chelsea the more and more I see them. I think it's going to be a 1-2 Chelsea and Liverpool. I think Liverpool will definitely be there.
I mean, last week's result when they beat Leicester 3-0, I'll be honest with you, I fancied Leicester. Yeah. I really felt Leicester, can score goals. I don't know what happened to them there. I actually didn't see the game. But to get beat 3-0 and Liverpool had 5 starting players not playing, that's a bad result for Leicester.
It's a bad result for Leicester, but I heard Brendan Rodgers the other night said we didn't perform anywhere near our best, and they conceded goals from. He said none of their big players really turned it on at Liverpool. They just got 3 goals from set pieces. But Liverpool now, they're in the. I mean, once they won the league, they ain't going to let go of that trophy easily.
No. I mean, obviously, fans are allowed in the next week or two, by all accounts, in December sometime. I mean, I don't know what Liverpool's regional status situation is, whether they come under Tier 3 or whether they're allowed a few people in, but I'm sure they'll all be delighted to come back and see the Reds march on. No matter how many's in there, maybe there's only 10,000 in there.
No, I think they're only going to let a couple of thousand in, whatever. Right. It'll still be like.
Those tickets would be worth a few quid, wouldn't
they? I bet they would. Stan Flashman was alive.
Big Stan, yeah. 2 together. Yeah.
But no, it'll still be like playing in a reserve game, but it will be, I suppose, a beginning.
Well, we have to start somewhere, as you say. Beginning is the word that, we can get back into going to enjoy watching the game live, being part of the atmosphere, meeting a few old friends, etc. And then hopefully it just builds up until we get, up to capacity.
It is. As you mentioned again the other night, watching the game, you find it very difficult watching it with no crowd, and it is getting that way the more and more. Where I thought it would get easier, it is getting tougher to watch.
Well, I'm fed up of hearing the commentators. Oh, we're terribly sorry for the language. Well,
they should watch Mrs. Brown Boys, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. If they want to listen to language, but
I think that comes on after 9 at night or something. That might be under that.
Well, not really. It doesn't really matter what time it's on. It's
all the little kids watching the footballs and stuff, enjoying it, and I dare say.
Well, I'm sure they.
For us adults, we're pretty much used to it, but maybe it's not the right message for the youngsters.
Maybe not, because my mum and dad never swore at each other.
No, only at 5 o'clock at night. Yeah. Where's my dinner? What your thoughts then? You think Liverpool are going to run away with the league and Chelsea chase them?
I don't think they're ever going to run away with the league like they did last year.
You did make a statement earlier in the season, which we've had more teams, different teams, top of the league every week is a different leader.
Yeah, mainly because they're Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday games, but there has been more leaders this season than ever before. I mean, the first 3 or 4 games there was a different leader, wasn't there?
Well, I think it's good though for the fans that it's not Liverpool, Man City drawn 10 clear already and this, that, and the other. It gives everyone a bit of hope.
Well, I remember the first day when we walked into the Grosvenor. In the casino there, and we looked up at the betting, and Manchester City were odds on, and Liverpool was second best, and we both wondered why. Yeah. How could they? They were 25 points in front of Man City last year, and they make Man City favourites this year. without David Silva, and Aguero hardly played, and you wonder why it was a good time to really back Liverpool, but Chelsea's odds are tumbling.
Well, I'm going to get onto them now. They've got a huge game against Spurs. I mean, obviously, you know, it's tomorrow, but that is probably the game of the season, I'd say, so far.
Absolutely, I think it's, you know,
You've got an informed Chelsea and an informed Tottenham. You've got Bale getting better as he's going along. I know he's not ready yet and whatever, but Harry's in major form. Werner's missing goals, but he's in the right spots all the time. You see a high-scoring game, or what do you see?
I think Chelsea, for the first time, will go into this game and not think about containing Tottenham, because they've got their players that they've signed.
I haven't used this yet. I just want to, you know, make sure it's working. Carry on.
You should have done that to the English press.
Yeah, you're right.
About Diego, but yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a classic tomorrow. I really do. I think it's going to be a fantastic game, because
I mean, there's incredible rivalry. I mean, you've played in those games, Chelsea.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like full-on war.
Yeah, but I think tomorrow's
both right at the top right now.
Unbelievable. It just couldn't be set up better than, you know, Mourinho will go to bed tonight and he'll dream of winning 1-0. We know that. And Frank will.
That's a bit like Tony Pulis, isn't it? Sheffield Wednesday.
Well, we do, and they will beat Stoke City today. Don't worry about that.
Oh my goodness.
No matter what Buttercup says.
I don't know. I'm in Stoke's camp. I think they got fantastic fans there. The stories you told me about Stoke are incredible.
We love the fans.
We do.
We love the fans.
But getting back to Chelsea, how do they beat Spurs? Where's the weaknesses for Spurs?
Well, strangely enough, tomorrow should suit Tottenham. It's not a good ground for Tottenham. It's not a good ground. Recently they've gone and played well. I mean, a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, it might have been a couple of years ago, when they were really up for it, they looked like winning the championship.
Yeah.
They went there, they were 2-0 up and drew 2-2, and Chelsea players were running around as if they won the World Cup.
Right.
Just because they stopped them. The hatred between these two sides is incredible.
I mean, we spoke about it quite a lot in the last couple of months. We've got a fully fit Harry Kane now, he looks a complete player right now. He looks deadly at all points.
Yeah.
Now, who's he going to match up with there? Who's at the back? Zuma?
Well, the thing is, Don, the interesting thing about the way Harry's playing at the moment, it was magnificent in the win last week against Manchester City, and he didn't play up front.
No.
He just kept dropping deeper.
Withdrawn a little bit.
And he was just holding the ball up and bringing players into play. People were running past him, and he was knocking balls through. He was absolutely sensational last week without getting on the score sheet.
I mean, when England-Belgium, when he played he was on his own there.
Yes.
You know, he was doing things that, like, how's he done that? How's he got away with that? But he was getting his shots off, he was keeping possession, he was under intense pressure. Yet he seems the ball sticks to him.
I think he's at the peak of his powers now. He's at that age. He's 27. He's been through all the.
Plus the injuries he come back for actually might be helping him now. We'll give him maybe a little bit of a rest, if you like, a recovery.
Yeah.
And now he's hungry.
He just looks more powerful and harder to knock off the ball. And he's getting cuter. He's going down at the right time when people are jumping all over him, trying to stop him. They can't stop him because he's a big lad. And he's
deceiving it how you look at him. But he's really like sort of broad-shouldered, but he's tough.
You look at him and then you look at someone like Lukaku. Lukaku's huge, and he's got a touch like a rapist. Harry's got a touch like an angel.
Yeah.
You know, it's these are the difference. You know, you look at Harry and say, oh, he's a big lad. I bet he's good in the air. I bet he can put himself about. But he has got the most magnificent touch, and that's what makes him, you know, the best centre forward maybe in the world at the moment.
So how would you call the game going tomorrow? What way do you see it going? Do you see it tilting Chelsea's way?
Well, Chelsea is so high on confidence. I think Chelsea are higher on confidence than what Spurs are, because Spurs won the game last week and they had to work. They had to really dig in and do all the things that they're not really good at to stop Manchester City. But it was one of them games, Don, where the team that scored first last week were going to win. If Man City had scored, they would have made it really tough. And Tottenham got a goal really early, and that really helped them settle. And then Mourinho could set in and say, "Don't give them nothing. Let's dig into them." And that's what they did. So tomorrow's going to be first goal. Tomorrow is going to be big, and I think Frank knows that. Frank knows he's got to try and get his nose in front.
So we know how tough Mourinho is. The way he sets it up, it's difficult for teams to break him down if Tottenham do go to the front. But I can see like a 2-2 draw there tomorrow, or someone maybe edging it 3-2. I think it's going to be a more open game than what we might be anticipating. I mean, Werner at the moment, I like him a lot. In the last 2 weeks, he must have missed 8 open goals.
Yeah.
Or 7 open goals. If you backed him for the Golden Boot, you'd be looking at yourself and saying, "My God, I should be 5 clear."
Yeah.
But as we spoke over the last few days, he's in them positions. He's there to miss them. I will always have a player who's there to miss them than someone who's never there, because it's only a matter of time till he puts them in the back of it.
Well, yeah, you never lose the knack of scoring goals, but you have bad spells. So everybody has.
But you've got to be in the positions to do it, and I think he's now getting in positions on a regular basis.
Yeah. And if Chelsea are in a good form, in a good place, because if he's not scoring them, someone else is. They've got the other boys in it.
So I'm going for 4 goals or more in that game. Hope it's not a 0-0. That's how it seems to be going right now. But I've got to talk about my mate's team, Mickey. West Brom, the Baggies, tomorrow. Sheffield United, or today I should say, Sheffield United. He won't be able to be walking about the house now, Mick.
Well, this is the toughest one to call, isn't it?
What are they? Bottom, second bottom, or
they're
both in the bottom 3.
Yeah. It is a game that, if you was allowed in the ground, I really wouldn't want to go and see. To tell you the truth.
He didn't mean that, Mick. He's only kidding. You know what I mean? But no, I can only see if Sheffield United do lose that game, I just think their confidence, the whole season is just going to be like, I can't say over because it's too early.
I think the same could be said for West Brom, though. I think whoever loses today are really, really in big trouble, and they've got to start. It's very early. There's only 10 games gone.
9 games.
So it's very early, but they haven't got the bottom line is they haven't got the players up front like we've been talking about, Harry. They haven't got the players up front that can get you out of this kind of.
But we
trouble.
know we've been down. I've been in the team that's got relegated, and just nothing seems to go for you. You do lose confidence. It is a situation. Everything you seem to do just don't work out. It's one of them. You'll get someone make a pass, pass back to the keeper, and boom, it's intercepted. You hit the post, it comes out. They hit the post, it goes in. You get nothing when you're at the bottom.
Yeah.
But bad luck. You don't get any luck.
Seems that way.
So maybe there's 2 of them playing today. I'm going to go with Mickey and the Baggies. I'm right behind your team. You and Colbert, the 2 Baggies lunatics. Hopefully you get the points today, Mick. But another little game tomorrow. Southampton, Man U.
Southampton are in magnificent form.
Right.
They were superb last week against Wolves for a good hour, and should have sewn it up. The kid from Arsenal, the lad that scored the first goal, should have scored. He had an open goal and he missed that.
Right. Yeah.
And they should have got the points in the bag, and they let Wolves off.
Well, Walcott Theo missed the open goal. It would have made it 2-0.
He's,
and they'd have been a long way back.
Not good enough as a finisher. Shouldn't be in that. Shouldn't play him up front.
I disagree with you. I quite like Walcott. I think he's coming into a bit of form now.
Yeah.
Like, again, we just speak about getting in the right positions. He's found himself in the right position. So
you like Rashford as well, didn't you?
I did like Rashford, yeah.
You did?
Yeah. I like Rashford on the right. I don't like him on the left. If they want to play him on the left, he's a passenger. Play him on the right, he's a player. A dangerous player. There's a difference.
Well, we have to...
Southampton, Man United, how do you see that going?
Southampton seem to have picked up their home form, so that gives them a big chance. Manchester United are very, very difficult. The last time we talked about a Manchester United game was when they played at Everton. We thought they were going to have a tough time, and they won with ease.
Well,
So-
Everton didn't show up. Everton were non-existent
Yeah,
that
yeah,
day.
yeah.
I don't think it was Man United playing well. I think Everton got it all wrong. Like, goals they gave away were ridiculous. I don't really know whether Everton are going to do what I thought at the beginning of the season. I thought they might be a team to reckon with, but at the end of the day, they seem to have gone backwards a little bit lately.
Well, it seems to be.
They scrambled to win the other day, but like they're just not looking like going to tear teams apart all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think they kind of had a purple patch at the first few games where goals were going in.
Yeah.
That stops. I think this one really is a tough one to call. But Southampton are in. They are just playing with so much confidence, and all-round team. They're one of those teams that, unlike Manchester United, they never change their team. They never change their players.
No.
They've always seemed to have the same team.
But they do look a well-organised outfit.
Oh,
You know, I like these teams who've got change of pace, change of options, whip balls in, free kick taker, Ward-Prowse. You know, you've got like Danny Ings. You've got players who can actually make something out of nothing now. And if Man United think they're going to go to Southampton and have an easy day at the office, I think they've got another thing coming.
Yeah, that won't happen. That won't happen. You know, if I had to side, I'd side with Southampton now. They've won a couple of games at home, which they hadn't done for a long time.
They was easy meat at home before. Now they
Yeah.
seem to have tightened it up. They're getting results.
Yeah.
We'll talk about one more game. Arsenal against your team, Wolves.
Yeah.
Wolves disappointing a little bit the other day. Our man Jimenez didn't have a good game by his standards.
Yeah, he on a good day, on a normal day, he'd have scored a hat-trick.
We'd have got two for sure.
Well, he scored a header that they disallowed, which was well offside. Then he missed an easy header, and then he hit the post with one, which the fella followed up and scored. They're three chances that he usually puts away. I was disappointed with the other fella, Traore. I think he seems to be a player who's better coming off the bench.
I think they've got to start him and just get him the ball and pound him. It's all right bringing him off the bench.
But I
He's getting
think
it half an hour.
I
bringing
think
him
he's
on
starting to get
an hour.
found out, Don.
They can't find him out. He's too powerful. He is too powerful. He's just, something must be going up here where he's losing a bit of interest or something.
In the early days,
I think if he was maybe going to get a transfer move and it didn't happen, and maybe, I don't know, has that affected him?
Well, maybe he changed his hair as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You
They're all
know.
changing their hair these days.
Well, I know.
Talk about hair,
Yeah,
Excuse me. Yeah, so I think it's a good game. What about the Arsenal? Have they? Arteta's had a couple of wake-up calls. Villa going down there, spanking them 3-0, and one thing and another. All right, they had a good win. Pepe got a couple wherever it was in midweek, away from home.
Well, I see Arsenal winning this game for one reason only, and that is Wolves missing Connor Cody. I think their defence looked absolutely.
Is his band not up yet? Maybe it is. Maybe it ain't.
Well,
tomorrow.
if he's not playing, I would back Arsenal because they looked it looked like every time Southampton got the ball, they were going to score. And
Well,
he's a man that dictates everything
Yeah.
for them.
No, I agree. He's got that power. He drives them on as well. He's a leader on the field. Connor
Fantastic
Cody.
player.
I do like him, and he's definitely on my list of good players. Getting back to charity bets, SFI Sport Funding Initiatives and Colin Howe, they put a little £20 charity bet up for me, Alan and John. Fortunately, Sitz is in London and he's obviously not with us. But so me and Alan are going to have a £20 charity bet out. What way do you want to go tomorrow?
Why
I
are
know
you
you're like, excuse me. I've had a couple, right? Alan's got to break his duck soon. It could be today. You said this is my week last week, so what is this week?
I'm going to go with Nicky Henderson's horse in the first race at Cheltenham. Well, I think Arsenal will win.
All right.
No doubt. I think they'll win. And I think Southampton will be a really tough nut to crack at home. I think they're on such a roll. I'm going to go with an Arsenal and Southampton double.
Arsenal and Southampton double.
Yeah.
Okay, you've heard it here, Huddy. Arsenal and Southampton double. I'm going to go for West Bromwich Albion, kiss of death, Mick, and I'll go for Everton to come good against Leeds. That's my double. So the charity bets, Alan, you've got
Southampton will be Manchester United.
Southampton to beat Man U, Arsenal to beat
Arsenal
Wolves.
to beat Wolves.
I've got Everton to beat Leeds, West Brom to get the points against Sheffield United. So that's it from Gran Canaria, folks. Hope you're all doing okay in London.
It's very cloudy here, by the way. You can see. I suppose you're all laughing at us sitting there.
Well, we're just enjoying it. It's sort of like, what are we, coming up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? The sun's generally out to about 5, half 5. But we're doing okay. Hopefully lockdown, December the 2nd, you're all back and about. And don't forget the Grosvenor is open then, so you can always pop down and have an evening at the casino. So from me, Don, from Alan, God bless you, stay safe. Hope your team wins this week. Cheers everybody.
It's a Diego.
Diego.